Watching the best. Fox 10 News at 5.
And first on Fox 3, Mesa police officers and a sergeant are on administrative leave after the Mesa police chief learns about this physical altercation that was captured on camera.
And the chief calling that video powerful and alarming. Fox 10 obtained a copy of that video earlier today.
And within the past hour, the Mesa police chief has responded. Matt Rodewald is live with what led up to that incident. Matt.
Well, Carrie and Mark, we've been working on this story for quite some time throughout the weekend, and suddenly Mesa Police calling a press conference and wanting to meet with media to discuss what happened, and each station or so had their turn. But when we asked about it, he essentially asked that this was more unanswerable than anything else. He really didn't have a whole lot of answers as to why, and clearly the investigation is still underway. Now, I want to show you what the video is here as police went to the El Rancho del Sol apartments for a domestic disturbance call on May 23rd. On the third floor, surveillance video capturing the confrontation with the suspect's friend that they were initially there to see. He was patted down by police for a weapon. Police say that they asked him to sit down against a wall, but according to them, he did not comply. And as you see him lean against the wall there, from there, police say that the confrontation escalates after that initial question there. They knew he was not armed at the time. Several punches to the face and to the head just before the elevator doors there, before more officers arrived on scene. The chief of police in Mesa saying he didn't know about this for a week.
I didn't know anything about this, and the way that I learned about it was because a member of the community sent me the video and said, hey, this looks very alarming, and I need you to look at it. So I examined it, and I immediately opened up an investigation.
Now, the attorney for that suspect, Robert Johnson, answering today with a statement essentially saying that Mesa must take concrete steps to ensure that culpable officers are disciplined, restrained, or retrained or dismissed. Mesa Police Department must develop a law enforcement culture that meets community and constitutional norms and ensures that police and citizens go home safely after their police interactions. End quote. They plan on having a press conference to discuss this and the incident even further coming up on Thursday. We've reached out to several city officials, including Mayor John Giles and City Councilman Jeremy Whitaker, for their thoughts on this. No doubt reaction just getting going, and a lot of people will have a lot to say about this video that's clearly brutal tonight. Reporting from Mesa, Matt Rodewald, Fox 10 News.
All right, and our very own Stefania Okoli actually working overtime on her day off. She broke this on Twitter. Stefania, you're here on the line with us. What can you tell us about this story? Stefania, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
I gotcha.
Hey, I was talking. My phone was muted. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was saying, so essentially learning about this video late last night, a member of the community sent it to me, and, looking at it, just kind of without knowing anything, the first thing is kind of like a little bit of utter shock and surprise to see this kind of, reaction that seemed almost in a sense like it was provoked verbally. So what we know about why these officers, I'm not sure if Matt was able to touch on this, were responding to this apartment complex. It was actually for a call for a domestic disturbance. And what the attorneys for this gentleman, Robert Johnson, told me was that he was there helping a friend move out of the apartment complex because he had broken up with his girlfriend. That is his friend who had broken up with his girlfriend. Some sort of argument started between his friend and the ex-girlfriend, and he was minding his business, he says, outside on the phone when the officers came up through the elevator. He says the officers told him basically to step to the other side of the wall because they wanted to make sure that he didn't try anything funny. But before they asked him to do that, you could see them patting down his pants in the video, making sure he didn't have a weapon on him. Now, what he says is that they weren't really saying anything. They were staring at him, and then they asked him to put the phone away, and I'm not sure if he didn't put it away fast enough. He said he didn't say anything, and then that's when the officers, you can see all four of them kind of on him, restrain him by the neck a little bit, and then he starts taking blows to the head, and his body kind of just becomes stiff. And, I just asked the attorney earlier if he was knocked unconscious. They told me, yes, he was unconscious. He went to the hospital a couple of days later, but he's now charged with disorderly conduct and impeding on an investigation. But that's pretty much what we know about this investigation right now, Pilar.
One of the things I noticed when we first learned about this video is that you were very cautious from the start about it. We knew that this would be graphic, that this would disturb some people, and you got to be very careful with stories like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to wait, for the police department to make some sort of comment, rather. Now, this incident happened Monday, May 28th, and we haven't heard about it. And the police chief was very straightforward in coming out to say, I didn't learn about this until today when they brought me this video down to the station and requested the report and the body camera video. So, that's kind of like the first thing that goes in your head. Well, how did the department not know about something like this? Anytime officers have to use excessive force, you would think that it needs to be reported to higher ups. So for the police chief to not know about an incident like this where 4 officers were involved in some sort of physical altercation with a suspect who was knocked unconscious kind of sets off a red flag or an alarm of the big question of why and how did this happen.
Mm-hmm. And just a friendly reminder for all of our viewers, oftentimes we do break news on social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, so be sure to follow the whole Fox 10 Phoenix crew because you'll hear it there first, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so putting this video out on Twitter, just even seeing the response now, a lot of people are just, kind of, wow, this is crazy. You have to think about the kind of track record that Mesa Police, does have with these kind of cases. We've seen a lot of cases get national attention, and Matt has been tweeting about them. You can check out his Twitter feed to see them. But the most recent one, I'm not sure if you remember, Pilar, but there was an 82-year-old grandmother and her grandson, or someone in her family, was inside of a house. They were a barricade subject who was threatening to kill themselves, and officers asked her repeatedly to come across the street, and she came very slowly. She was obviously developmentally challenged, which her family admitted, and you could kind of hear that in the video. She was kind of delusional, did not know what was going on, and at a point in that video, you see officers kind of use tactics to take her to the ground. 3 male officers, and that's something that also kind of really outraged the community and begged the question of why was this kind of force necessary? What is going on here, and what's going to be done to stop it? And each one of these instances, you've seen the police chief or the PIOs come out and say, this is absurd, this is not right.
Mm-hmm. All right, team coverage from Stefania and Matt. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.
Great, thanks.
All right, everyone, taking a live look now at Phoenix, Arizona. Again, that video was involving the Mesa Police Department's officers. We will clip that live coverage on YouTube. Just head on over to youtube.com/Fox10Phoenix, the same place you go to subscribe to our channel. And if you're signed up for notifications, you can be alerted anytime we go live with breaking news.